Hello, myself Sunil. This is basically the 77th part basically of PHP. In this basically, see one class, public variable function. This is basic constructor, function protected. Again one class. This fruits basically get derived to this strawberry. So this everything basically, that is this everything gets, this basically comes like this. See basically. So this will like be this. This would be like this. So here basically in strawberry, the name variable is not supposed to exist. Color variable is not supposed to exist. Intro basically function is not supposed to exist. Otherwise basically it will convert to error. Why? Because it's exactly doing the copy paste. So it basically, so one of the person told that it basically derives basically from class to strawberry basically. So it's like this basically. See basically. Here basically in public basically we called the stuff basically. This mostly stuff basically we have already saw. So one of the percent of the error means what basically? Logical error, physical error, that it will show the error. So sometime basically it will show the error and sometime basically it will be the logical error also basically you can say. The finally keyword basically, final keyword. The final keyword is used to prevent the class inheritance or to prevent the method overriding. Example C basically. Finally function extended this, intro basically is here, overriding methods basically, that basically everybody knows. Class constant basically. So another percent of the object oriented basically is what actually? So object oriented basically is one rules and regulation basically which is created by PHP group basically. So if you want to do this, you have to follow this step basically. So in simple language basically, if you want to achieve something basically in object oriented, you have to follow the strictly the rules and regulation basically which is created by the PHP oops group basically. So whatever groups oops object oriented programming group basically has created the stuff, exactly basically you have to do the copy paste. So in simple language basically, if you want to do anything in object oriented programming, you should have the rules and regulation, that is the steps basically in front of you, nothing else basically. But when it comes to the programming basically, it gets more complicated. So it's very complicated programming basically, that also basically you can give the name basically. Class constant basically can be useful if you need to define some constant data within the class basically. A class constant declared inside a class with the constant keyword. Constant can't be changed once the declared. So once it declared basically, it can't be changed. You can't change the value basically. Class constant case sensitive, however it is recommended to name the constant as in the uppercase letter. So we can access the constant outside the class with operators. So this is the constant. and this is the variable name basically, and this is the data, and this basically can't be changed. If you try to change it basically, it will give an error. Why? Because it's a constant basically. So this all basically major stuff basically is there in the C++, C, Java. So that time basically the people basically told that time basically this was not checked when public modifier basically doesn't work. Why? Because it touched to the real time data basically. Ticketing was the example, that was also not checked. So that basically the error of the C++ group. That is not our error basically, because we are using the C++ and C concept basically. And one of the person told that C and C++, you will not able to believe it, that basically C and C++ has created iron, they have created copper, they have created steel, they have created tamba, they have created all the most of human needs basically. After that basically the .NET PHP came into the picture. So first they have created it. So if anybody say that basically it's a .NET error, then basically it is not acceptable basically. Abstract class, when abstract class and a method. What are abstract class? Abstract class basically method are when the parent class has a name method but need its child class basically. I actually have never used abstract class basically. Abstract class is a class basically that contain at least one abstract class method basically. An abstract method basically is a method that declares but not implemented in the code basically. So see basically how the abstract methods basically. It's a definition basically, you can say. It's a definition basically, and so one person told that I have the idea basically, but not overall idea basically. I don't have basically. I have basically little bit idea, but overall entire idea basically I don't have. So that time basically you can declare the abstract class basically, or abstract method, or abstract something, whatever things basically you want to declare. Later on basically you can write down the code basically. So see, this is all the abstract basically. So next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.